Welcome. It's Marked In. Marked In Talks. Here we're going to be talking about marketing, everything to do with marketing, creative marketing, organic marketing, even just owning a brand. Any gems you want, this is the place to be.
It's the place to be.
You know what I'm saying? So
another episode.
This is the first one we're going to be airing the full thing. So
yeah. Because I can't lie, everyone's always like, where's the full episode? Because obviously we only like edit it down to clips. So this one's going to be like the full thing. We hear the comments, so we're gonna give them what they want.
Yeah. Anything that you lot have to ask for about, or if you have any questions or anything that you want us to talk about next episode, be sure to put in the comments below, or even like hit us up on our Instagram, TikTok, because we definitely want to talk about things. And sometimes our topics is it's just off head.
It's off
You
head.
get what I'm saying? So
Like, we're just planning off
but remember, this ain't a podcast. It's a conversation, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're just here to talk about marketing, but.
I just take it from there.
But yeah,
I think we'll dive straight into it though. So
yeah. So what's the latest brand marketing that you've seen that you like this month, this quarter especially? No, I mean the quarter's just started, so I don't mean and I know there ain't been a lot of brands that's like been bringing a lot of marketing recently in it. So
yeah, do you know is it really and truly? Do you know? I think that's actually a great question. But I think what you just said is actually the perfect thing. Yeah. I haven't seen too many people do anything that's groundbreaking or anything that's like worth me even talking about. If I'm just being free, I'm not even just saying that as well. Like, yeah, there's been a very few people.
Yeah,
there's been very few people like we got Cortez.
I'd say even yeah, go on.
But I think the one I want to highlight, right? I'm like, I don't know why. Whenever we come on this, like, we always have to talk about something unorthodox. Like,
yeah, it's always an unorthodox one.
Not something we would expect to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's like, we'll talk about streetwear, we'll talk about this or that. But I think my one is it's a woman, right? She's got a beauty brand,
yeah,
right, and I believe it's called Kaya Beauty. I think so. If I'm getting that wrong, I apologize. But the market that she's been doing, I think is great. It's such a great way that she's doing it, and basically what she's doing, I think she's got like this powder that she's that's waterproof in it. There's a fully waterproof powder thing, part of makeup in it, and the way that she's marketing, right, she's using different ways of proving that it's fully waterproof. So like she's like hosing herself down in the shower, she's getting like garden hoses all over her face,
yeah,
and like she's basically proving to the audience that what I'm saying is exactly what it is. And I think the great thing about that marketing, right, what she's doing is that number one, she's proving that the product works. The number two, what she's doing is she's actually building her own influences from it. Because what I saw is that other people want to now join in and be like, no, she's lying. She must be lying. She must be lying. It now builds that domino effect of, no, I want to prove that what she, like, it can't be like, I'm going to do this, yeah. And then what's happening is people are trying it and it's working. So like she's building her own influences from like her product. And like they're just micro influencers, just normal people. It's not like,
also, they're starting content because of that.
It's like she started her own challenge, right? Of like actually making her product work.
Yeah.
And then what's that going to, it's just going to have a domino effect. And obviously the people, when it works, they're going to have to be like, well, I can't lie to you.
See, that's the definition of like creating tension with marketing. Because that's actually true. Like the way she's kind of just started using that product as like a proof that something works. Yeah.
That works, yeah.
Then the controversy part is that people don't believe it.
Exactly.
So then now when they actually use it, it's like, oh, what, this is true. And on camera.
Exactly.
It's word of mouth marketing.
Word of mouth. And then that just...
And then just repels.
And then more people want to try it because people are intrigued by the mystery in it. You know what I'm saying? The mystery in something is always what makes someone intrigued more. And then that's the whole part of marketing. Build the intrigue, right? And then let everything just fall down.
Yeah, I like that. And you know what it is as well? The thing that's about that is you see personal branding when you're doing that with your brand as well. Especially how she kind of put her face. You don't see the face of the brand.
Yeah.
So she's used how she's the expert in what she does. Yeah, so she knows exactly what she's talking about and proving it day in through her content. And that's all the content you kind of need from the start because it's literally educational, but it's also entertaining because you're like, what's she going to do next? Like to prove it. See what I'm saying? Not just the water hose. Like maybe she might do something different.
Yeah.
Pour a whole water on her face. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then now it's like you're creating careers with the influencers. Like I think that's really good. Like that's That's cool.
But I think I said that's mine. But what's yours?
I think for me, I haven't seen any micro brands. There's two. So Billy's
Billy's one's good.
Yeah. The was that the spray for the product?
I think it's a deodorant.
Deodorant in it. Yeah. That one was really cool. So I saw it like literally recently, and I feel like that was really dope. The way like you've put something for everyone to kind of see.
Yeah.
And like on the billboard. So basically, it was a billboard, and you scratch it, and you're able to smell the actual deodorant. I feel like that's crazy activations. Because like, who would have thought that you can actually go and test the product in real life outside of your home, innit? And then go and actually check it out. It intrigues you because it makes you. It's the same thing, just like how you said with Kaya Beauty. Yeah, you go and scratch it and smell it. You're like, oh, let me go buy it. Let me go actually smell it in real life and buy the product. And it might not be just because of the smell. It might just be because you've already tested it out. So you want to actually see the actual product. Exactly. And like, even people were videoing it saying, oh, have you seen the scratching billboard? And you can smell it. Let's put on more word of mouth. I really like that one. The Wingstop ad campaign. I don't know if that was
with EP1.
Yeah, I don't know if that was recent. It must have been a month ago or something. But that was really good.
That was really good.
Like, you see what I don't like? Sometimes, brands, when they use celebrities for their marketing and they tailor it around them, most of the time it doesn't fit the celebrities' branding. So like, you've had the Stormzy's and McDonald's people have had the controversial with that. And then you've had like other brands that's had the same type of controversy and backlash. But I feel like Wingstop were perfect because they work with rappers, innit? But how they done it was they tailored their marketing to the way Heady One sees himself in it, because he's a joker in it. So they added that kind of personality within it. So obviously the basis of the campaign was they were teasing a flavor, something happening in it, and it was a radio station. So the person behind the radio station you don't know until the end, and then you find out that it's Heady One, and he's speaking and he's like describing the flavor, and at the end there's a press conference where they're like, what's the new flavor? And then it's honey glaze. Was it glaze or honey glaze or something like that? And I just felt like it fit Heady One, as he's like already a comedic person. And his obviously they added his whole, personal branding in it as well, and personality. So I just felt like that was perfect.
Yeah.
Most brands don't know how to kind of like target that as well. But yeah, no, that's probably the brand.
I also like how like they didn't take anything away from his personality. So like they didn't make him be something that he wasn't. It was literally him. Like the ad was like, it was purely him. Like that's when when you first watch it and like he's the beginning of the ad, you don't get lost in it because you feel like you're just watching Heady One.
Yeah.
Like you just feel like you're watching him in his element.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was actually I think that was the perfect thing.
I feel like I like when I feel like I like when brands actually use one celebrity or influencer more than like a couple, because
that's true.
I feel like you're tailoring it around the type of person that who's going to buy the product and use the product. Like when you use a bunch of influencers, the only ones that I feel like do that and kill it are topicals. And I know because they use like specific types of influencers, and like the way they kind of killed it just makes sense. But when brands use one, it's like the personal brand is entwined with the brand itself. I feel like you can play a lot around with it. Like you could take risks.
You can kind of do more.
You can do more.
I think topicals do it right because like they do it in groups of people that have similar types of followings. Similar types of like
interests as well. Yeah.
So like, and that, like you just said, that also relates back to the audience that they're looking to actually gain from using the influencers. So I think for them, it works in that premise. But then when you're using just like bare influencers or bare celebrities in one ad or one, wherever it may be, it then becomes like you're doing too much because you're trying to cater to too much. You know what I'm saying? But I think I want to get your opinion on what like this whole like debate thing where it's like founder-driven content. It's like the new way.
I
think that's the new thing. I know we were having a conversation about
it. I remember like, so there was a tweet about that as well. Reese Robora was tweeting back with a couple of supporters, and they were saying like, he's the owner of MDV, and he was saying that using founder-driven content, that wasn't like the biggest corporations don't have that in it and don't have to use that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's old school marketing. And the thing is, old school marketing, it doesn't work now. I think nowadays it's about you actually having a founder driven brand. Not saying every brand needs to do it.
Yeah.
Like if you have a good product and you know how to showcase that without using your face and using other people's face, there always is a face behind a brand. Nike started out with athletes, so they used athletes. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? There's beauty brands that use certain models. Maybelline used I forgot her name, but anyway, I'm not gonna but like beauty brands use certain you know, celebrities that they use occasionally in each campaign. Then they get the biggest ones to come in and use the same people. So there's always a face behind the brand, even though you don't think it. Like that's really what you see. So I think founder driven content is even better because now it gives you the opportunity to be more organic with your content and come up with creative ways to actually like get the audience to interact or even like buy your products. So now it's the best opportunity right now. I feel like that's even way better because you can just pick up a phone and literally film the content and marketing exactly what you want and plan it as well from the space of your home. I think even building it as a founder driven content, like now you gain more trust. Like if you look at it, some of the biggest brands, clothing brands right now are the ones that have a face and a founder driven content behind it. What's that one called again? The beauty brand, pink one.
Oh, P. Louise.
Pink Louise. I've said that many times, but they've started out with a founder-driven content.
You got brands in. I think brands in every industry are doing it. It's like you got Blanks, you got Suave, like these are all like founder-driven like clothing brands.
I was gonna say about them as well. The way they started out, like they didn't even start out by promoting their pieces. Especially like Blanks, Joseph. Why I rate what he does is because I remember I saw him when he started off just doing fit videos, innit? Get ready with me and talking on the mic. It's probably the first people to doing it on from the UK, and like he built a following and a trust where people were like, oh, I really like, I mess with him and he's speaking about his life and he's modeling, and you know eventually people are going to be like, oh, why don't you create a brand? And he was already behind, and he was already working with Suave, who already had a brand already behind the scenes. That's his boy, innit? So I feel like the fact that he was able to kind of go from that lane and then start the brand, and now it's going to this, you know, big brand now that people actually trust, and they watch the content, they watch how he actually delivers the pieces to influencers as well, and his day in the life. It's like you're building that culture now. A lot of brands can do it, even if you're starting out. Founder-driven content is the main first thing you do, I think, to start out with marketing with content. So definitely.
But I think, do you know what I think about founder-driven content? I think it's that it has to be the new way, and you have to get into it before you get saturated. I think every single brand owner needs to be the founder-driven content from today onwards before it starts getting saturated, because it's such a pivotal thing that's working. Obviously, all these things start going to saturation after it's done a lot of time. Right, so it's best now to really take advantage of it, and it's like, I can't like get from behind the screen and start making videos of your brand, because who best to be the face than the actual owner? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I think the thing that we're seeing is that a lot of people were getting into people's journeys, and that's what people like to see more than anything else. It's like you're falling in love with the journey, which allows you to fall in love with the product, which allows you to fall in love with the brand, which allows you to now join the community. So it's like, the question is always like, oh, how do I build a community? How do I build a community? But like, the community is built through you actually investing in yourself and you putting yourself out there, you putting your brand out there in so many ways that you start to build that community of people that start to vouch for you, even without you being there. So I think founder-driven content really is the new way to go and the only way to go for right now, as it's the most powerful way of being able to push a message across about your brand.
Definitely.
And it's like,
that right.
With the people you're talking about, you got Blanks, you got Suave, but like, the best thing that they do is that they really bring people in. They really bring people behind. They give people advice. They do the whole, like, the whole 9 mile of everything. Even like Tay Transitor. Same thing.
Same thing with him.
What these people are doing, right, is so much bigger than what you see to the eye. They're planting seeds, right, that are growing. And you may not see it, right, you may not see the vision in the beginning, but it's like, it's growing into something that's so much bigger than them, right? And I think that's what brands need to really take advantage of and really hone in on, because that's to any question of like how to start with yourself.
Yeah,
start with nobody else. And like you said, if it's not yourself, get somebody else to be the face.
Yeah. And you know what it is go on.
Just to end off is that, just like you said, you see the brands, they still have faces to them. Even if it's not the owner, because like, oh, not everyone has. The owner may not be the face, but they have a face. That's why like somebody will be the face of, like you said, Maybelline. Somebody will be the face of Balenciaga. Somebody will be the face of L'Oreal. Somebody will be do you know what I'm saying? They have a face that they'll have for a period of time. So whenever you think about that brand, you think about that face, that person. So it's like, that's really the thing that you want to attach your brand to, something that people can trust as well. Like you said, I think trust is a big thing in founder-driven content, because that's how you're added to somebody being like, I trust this person's opinion. I trust this person's integrity. I'm going to buy from them.
Yeah.
Like somebody can really buy something from you just because it's you, rather than the actual product itself. Like some people might be like, okay, I can't lie to you. Denzel, he knows how to do this, he knows how to dress, how to do all these different things. So like, as soon as you bring a brand, it's like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm going to buy it. Because I already trust his opinion in this area and your integrity, and that's what you're putting on the line. But yeah, I think definitely.
Yeah. And the thing is, even if like, because I feel like your brand has to build a culture and a way of seeing that people actually buy it. Sometimes, like, I think brand owners don't know, they have friends in it. And you have people around you that you want to wear your brand, you want to use your brand, like your product in it. So get the opinions of them live on action, like get on content, because that's the best way to make people understand, okay, this is actually something that's raw. I can buy this.
Yeah, exactly.
I think brand owners think that customers can think for themselves and they're just gonna like see, you know what I'm saying?
Just wake up one
day,
oh yeah, this is the great things as well.
Yeah, like like they're just gonna buy it like straight away. But there's a process that customers go through every day, like when they think of buying. So even me, like when I buy something, me myself, I know me. I think about it 4-10 times before I buy it. Exactly. Some people are quick, like, oh, you know what? F it, I'm gonna buy it. But most people, it's like they're convincing themselves to not buy something, or to wait, or to give it time in it. And like, you have to be able to make them feel like this is the thing that's gonna like either change their life. I didn't say, but you know what I mean, or make an impact in it, in their life. And everything makes an impact in your life. You know, if it's something small, big, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes just using your friends, your people around you, or even like just family, if you don't have friends like that. I don't know anyone that have friends like that, but like just to like use your product and get their opinion live out, that's content as well, especially. So I think reviews are very important in it.
Yeah.
Because like especially recently, I've been thinking about how like customer service is really important in marketing as well.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like you need to make people see that your brand is trustworthy and also something that like people can like relate to and be like, oh, this is for me. So customer service, it's a great way to just make someone understand that, okay, you know, this brand is actually like caring for man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Caring to me.
Yeah, it's caring to me. Like, like they're responding to like even things I get, like responding to like comments, reviews, what people think, getting live with the first bio or something like that, or doing giveaways. It's important because this is what builds the community that you want to build, especially. So that's what I was gonna say about
that. What I want to say is I like just one thing. Whenever we want to look at our phone, right, we do it at the same time. We have to look at our phones at the same time, so that when I post the whole thing, I won't cut out one of us talking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like this one I'm gonna cut out, but I'm saying like if I'm talking and
you said you're not cutting out.
No. And I'm gonna cut like just like little bits when we pick up our phone.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if I'm talking and you're looking at your phone, I'm gonna get the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like we have to look at our phones at the same time. So like when we stop talking, then we look.
Oh, cool.
And then do it like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. You said you weren't gonna do that, weren't you?
No. I'm only gonna cut like the looking at the phone parts. But then like everything else, like I'm not keeping that.
Why not? Why just leave the phone on?
No, I'm not keeping that. Okay, cool. I don't know how long we're gonna look at the phone.
Okay, cool. First.
That's imagine we're just there like
yeah. Cool. So
you might wait.
No, but like okay, cool.
But cool. There is a thing I want to ask. What's your answer? What's your opinion on this? Is having a brand more about making change or is it about making money?
That's a good question.
Like, as a brand, are you here to make a change or are you here to make money?
If it was here to make money, your first like drop would sell out every time and you'd be like pressuring for that to sell out every time. Do you get what I'm saying? But I think it's about making change because impact is more important.
Yeah.
Like I need to see that what I'm going to do is going to change either the industry or be better. It's going to be either be better or worse for like the people that, it's always going to be better, but like better for the customers that are going to buy from it.
Yeah.
So like brands are always looking to do that. Nike, I always use Nike as an example, but Nike, are the pinnacle of making change. Came in the game, they made being an athlete cool and made being an athlete for any type of like sport relatable, especially to the kid that's going to be watching it from that commercial from the space of their home. Like they're like, oh, I want to be like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially if a kid like, let's just say a kid likes football and he sees that first commercial, he wants to get into football. That commercial will probably get them to buy boots. You get what I'm saying, or something. So I think it is all about making change. Money is like the reward for what you're doing in it, but I think it's bigger than that because once your brand grows, you go into different lanes. It doesn't just become just product based. You go into collabs with like other industries. Do you get what I'm saying? And actually giving back to the community because you need to be able to like give back to people that can't actually afford. So those people that can't afford, what are you going to do for them?
What are you going to do for them?
And how they're going to be aware of your brand so that even when they make money, they're able to buy into it. Do you know what I'm saying? And eventually like sell it or whatever, sell the brand or do whatever you can with it. But what do you think?
I think, do you know what, I think it's, I'm with you. I'm with you on that as well. I think making a change, I think making money is a byproduct of making a change. So I think you have to think about the lab so that you can have the afterthought, which is the money. And I think the more focus on that, right, is that you're more purpose driven than output driven. Because when you're focused more on the output and more on what you can get from this, every single minute failure is amplified, right? So the same thing when like you're building the brand and you're marketing the brand, right? And your goal is just like, I want to make money, I want to make money. You're now going to amplify every single thing that goes wrong within that process. And I feel like that's where you start to put yourself down as a whole, because it's like, you think, how am I going to make this money? How am I going to sell at this thing? Or how am I going to do that? It's like, once you're fully focused on that, right, you will never make it to that point. It isn't to say that money will always be a factor in all of this, right?
It's what builds it.
Exactly, it's what builds it and it's what allows it to grow more and more and more. But your pure focus on that will always leave you exactly where you started. And I feel like I was watching Tay Train's story, right? Tay Train's story, and he was talking about how the brands he was helping, and he was like, people ask you like, okay, cool, why are you helping your competition? He was like, he said something, not verbatim, but he said something along the lines of how what I do for other people doesn't hurt what I have in my pocket. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that mindset is exactly what making a change is based around. And then from that, your reward will always be monetary. It will always be monetary. Because how you can make a change, how you can help other people grow, how you can make other people elevate, right, will always, on the other side, will always be monetary. You always have that value exchange from having that. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go on to.
There's this thing, right? And obviously, like, we speak to a lot of brand owners, like, on like a constant basis, right? And I think a constant thing, right, that we get is that what that I see is that I believe that some brand owners just don't want it bad enough. Like they just don't want it bad enough. Because if you wanted it bad enough, you'd be the change that you speak about, right? And I feel like there's this constant thing where you're able to identify the problems that you're having, but you don't have the willpower to fix the problems that you're having. It's more of I can identify that, okay, cool, I have this problem, I don't have this and I don't have this. but you still don't be the change that you want to see. What do you think?
Why do you think that is though?
I think that's the problem. I think that's a problem mainly because your mindset is driven around comfortability. And it's usually more comfortable to know that it's usually more comfortable to accept that you only have a problem than you actually fixing a problem. Fixing a problem is actually the actual hard work. You knowing that this campaign, my last campaign, didn't do well, that's not hard to think about, right? But it's more comfortable to stay where you're at than to work hard. I work hard at something and fail, right? In you trying to make change.
I think it's about, I feel like brand owners are just telling themselves a lie, saying that, what they're doing right now is working.
Yeah.
Rather than, having an understanding of like, you don't have all the answers to, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah.
Because owning a brand, you're studying on the, like, as you go in it, and you take a lot of losses, but it's about taking them losses and understanding that, okay, cool, like, what needs to be better? Like, I feel like after every campaign, you should be able to measure what's going on, like what's wrong,
what's
like
wrong.
the numbers and whatever, and who's actually interacting. The main point is who's actually interacting and who's buying from your brand and why it's not reaching certain people. And sometimes you have to start from the beginning. Like every now and then you might have to like go back and be like, okay, how did I begin this campaign and how was it? How did it get there? And what did I not do? What did I not add? See what I'm saying? It's about refining. If something works, then start refining it. Do it one more month and then see how you can refine it and make it better. But if something's not working at all, go back to the drawing board and from scratch and really see what do you not implement in your marketing or what do you not implement in your brand that people are not getting the message. It's because it's just that the customer's just not getting the message that you're trying to relay.
Exactly.
And you have to be able to relay that in the perfect way. So when you were saying that, I was thinking like, like that as well. And brands don't want to take the risk. I've said that before. But like the risk taking is probably the most scariest thing. Sometimes it's like, do you want to do that idea that you came up with? Do you actually want to act on that campaign that you've been thinking about for a very long time? A lot of brand owners will come to us, be like, I have this idea to do this thing. Why are you calling me to tell me? Why are you telling me about that idea? Why are you not doing or acting on it? Like, and we'll ask, so what are you planning to do it? Yeah, like, I've been thinking about it. It's just, I have the idea, but I don't know how to execute it. I feel like execution is a safe word for saying, like, I'll do it later, innit? Or I'll think about doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like execution, it's not as deep as what people think because you'd really just ask questions, act now and do now and then think about it later. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to, like, if you got a campaign idea, which is probably about 3 pieces of content, a campaign, an activation or something like that, let's just say, and you're thinking about this and it's been in your drawing, your journal for a very long time, and you haven't acted on it. You haven't even thought, let me reach out. There's something wrong, like, because sometimes you can't do it by yourself, I get it, but reach out, like, ask, get people involved with your brand, like, tell people the vision so someone can help you. And sometimes use the people that are already into your brand. Like, if there's someone there, if there's one fan there that's been following the journey, get them involved. Like, tell them to help you, like, do you know what I'm saying? Get this to the where it needs to be, because there should be no ego with your brand. Like, if you know it's not where it needs to be at the moment, then get them in now so that when it gets there, you can, you know what I'm saying? You can get them in. And that's another story that he can say, that fan can say, or that customer can say.
And you can actually say as well, and you can get other people that you brought somebody in at the beginning stages and you guys built it together and you kind of brought the people in. I mean, just like you said, it's like saying that you have an execution problem is just another way of saying that I'd rather procrastinate and be comfortable failing than me actually doing something and then failing and then learning the actual lesson of what to do next. I think that's the distinction between two people. Like, are you the one that's going to say that I have an idea and you're going to try to make it happen and fail? Or are you the person that's going to say, I have an idea, or I have an idea, not do it, and then wait till later and then be like, oh yeah, I don't know what it is. And then always constantly think of the problems, right? I was even watching this thing. shout out to, what do you call it, Michael Pepper, bro.
Oh, bro.
Shout out to Michael Pepper, yeah. He posted on his story, right?
Yeah.
This thing was powerful and it was so true. It was like, entrepreneurship, right, is the highest level of problem solving. That's what you're here for. Mm-hmm. You're here for problem solving. Now, if you're focused on always highlighting the actual problem, right, that's where you're going wrong, right? Your whole point is to be at how quickly can you actually problem solve based on what comes towards you? Because you're always going to have people throwing rocks at you, but how quickly can you solve that problem? How quickly can you come to a solution? That's what differentiates you from actually you getting closer towards your success. That's what I'd say between those two things.
No, that's true. Because you build, through that, you build a mentality. You build, build relentless attack. You build like the mentality of like anything that comes your way, even if it's a rock or what, you know what I'm saying? That hurdle, you know how to get through. So now you know, okay, cool. Anything that happened, if I took that major loss, like, you can do it again. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's very true, especially in marketing as well. It's very true. But speaking on that though, that means like, because how you were saying that, I was basically saying that, you have to be able to like improve on your marketing. I think the main thing as well is, don't you feel like you have to be able to measure what's going on and what's working? So what would you say the most important thing in marketing is? And you said it before, is data, isn't it?
It's data. I can't lie. It's always going to be data. And it's like the biggest thing to take from any like reflection point or any like brainstorming point or anything you want to like brainstorm or like put together, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. And it's really that simple. When it comes to stuff like creativity, you want to be very selective, right? Because creativity is boundless, right? And you can't necessarily measure it to a point because it's subjective, right? But the things that you can measure is who's engaging, right? Even if it's 3 people engaging your video, right? What does people look like? Who are they? What do they do? Like, you can measure your likes, you can measure your views, you can measure your shares. Shout out to Kumi as well, right? He was talking about one of the biggest signifiers is shares. If somebody, not shares, sorry, saves. Sorry, my bad.
Favorite.
Saves. Favorites, favorites and saves, right? What that showcases, and I think he gave the analogy of Netflix. You know, you add it to your wish list, that means you found something that you want to go watch later, right? Make that be your content and use these things as your measure points to actually allow you to understand how to cater your content, how to improve your content. Because improving your content doesn't necessarily always mean make it more creative, right? Creativity is a great additional thing to always add into your content. However, content has fundamentals, right? If nobody's liking, sharing, or saving it, I guess something ain't creative about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, creativity is always one of those things where it's like, it's a great addition to content. However, it shouldn't be everything that's made around it. Because if you can't measure it, you can't improve it.
Yeah.
And you can't tell what's working if you're just making a certain type of content. So I think that's what I say definitely for brands.
And speak to your customers as well.
Yeah.
Like see what people are actually commenting on your content as well, and see if you can like reach out to them and ask them, so what products do you like from our brand?
Yeah.
Why do you like our brand? And find out like what they're interested in. Then you can kind of see, okay, cool. Because sometimes I get we have the ego of, we put out something, and we feel like it's going to work. It should work.
It should work.
But maybe it might be the thing that you don't really actually think is going to works, innit? And now you have to understand, okay, cool, why did this video work? Why did this customer say that he likes this product? Customers are saying they like this product more. Let me start tailoring my marketing content towards that. Because then now that might make something shift as well. And people understand about the other content as well. You have to kind of see, like, I think the beginning process is obviously gauge, like throw everything you can and see what's making sense in it. Like, obviously I'm not saying that's the beginning stage, get creative. Now you measure, get the data and see what you can refine towards the audience. From there, that's when I feel like you add in your creative like into it.
Exactly.
You kind of add like your own like spice into it and see how you can get that customer to think a bit. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think like that's really important. Like people just always go based on like, what's not working and what they think is working. It's not about you as the brand owner. It's literally about the customer. Like, from that base.
Because I can't lie, what doesn't lie?
The data does not lie. I'm telling you, it never lies.
One thing is, we can lie. All these different things can lie, but the one thing that don't lie is the numbers.
Just
if the numbers ain't matching, you obviously did something wrong, and that's where you see that's where your gap is, and that's where you see where you can improve. Do you know what it is? There's this big thing that's been coming in, right? And it's been talking about how say no to the aesthetic grid, say no to the polished pictures.
Yeah.
Say
yeah.
So there's this big
carry on.
So there's this big thing that's been coming in, right? Yeah. That's been like say no to like the aesthetic grids, say no to the polished pics, and like really get into like making content that actually engages and converts, right? And I think it's mainly trying to drive away from like, you see, like when you see a grid, right, and it looks good, right? Because we always say like your Instagram is like your showcase, right? And because it looks good, right, that's the only thing you should focus on. And I think it kind of segues back into the same thing I was talking about before, is that if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So it's like, again, with like your grid looking good, that's great. Like it's lovely that it does look good, but if it's not getting the engagement, if it's not getting the likes, the saves, right, there's obviously something that's not really relating back to the audience.
Because you got to be honest, like every day we see cool stuff.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, what's that going to make me do? I see something cool, I walk past it. Like, oh yeah, that's hard. I might take a picture and want to walk away. And
exactly.
Like I won't like buy. It doesn't make me buy anything. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I think like photo shoots are kind of pointless in a way. So sometimes I think
because let's talk about it.
I do think like photo shoots are really pointless, in it. Like photo shoots don't do anything except from like obviously putting it on your website and having like an aesthetic and showing that your brand is professional. But as you can see, and I've been seeing it recently, luxury brands, they know it's not working anymore, and that's why luxury brands are suffering right now in the marketing game, because they're seeing that the things that's working is the marketing content, the organic content. That's why you see brands like Burberry, they're jumping on TikTok, they're working with influencers within TikTok that fit their brand. They're doing content like the T1. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With celebrities and that. And I think that's what makes people buy into it, not the cool shoots. Because you can get a cool shoot at any point, and I might see the product and be like, oh yeah, it's just a product, innit? Like, that's what I'm looking at. Like people want to buy something that they actually feel and interested in. Do you get what I'm saying? I won't be interested in something that is just going to see a good photo.
Take a good photo,
Yeah, like content is the game.
Yeah.
From now on. I'm not saying don't do it. Like, take your photo shoots. Defo do behind the scenes. I'm not going to lie. But, like, don't make that the main course and the main focus of your brand, because that can come later on.
That can always,
It can always come.
It can always come.
Yeah.
I think there's this thing that you're really pushing hard through, which I do agree with, actually.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, is that photo shoots are becoming more, not redundant in the sense of like their purpose, but their value doesn't have the same thing that they used to have. I think that's the main thing that I'm kind of getting from the message as well. Is that like, when you do a photo shoot, when you used to do a photo shoot, people used to look forward to like photo shoots.
Yeah.
Where it's like, damn, what were they going to do next? What were they going to do next? And it's like, now we're actually we're segueing into a new lane of marketing where photo shoots are becoming more of a secondary thing to do, more than a primary thing to do. Obviously for things like websites and obviously just like product placements, for example, that's where the main value comes from a photo shoot, rather than in content wise, photo shoots are not the most valuable thing. We're talking more social media marketing, activations, so on and so forth. That's where you're really going to get your consideration, your conversions from. And that's actually really where you're going to get more engagement from, more than anything else. Because you said on multiple occasions, a picture doesn't tell me how I relate to this.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell me how this is familiar to me. It doesn't tell me how I can be like this or whatever it may be. And I think that's the main thing of why the value isn't really there as it was before. Whereas like a picture that was like, damn, this is like the best thing in the world. Now it makes me buy it. But nowadays it's not really in that in that same lane. And I was watching, just to like, so get back to the aesthetic grid swings, is that I saw this, I forgot what the brand is called, but she was making a video about how like she just started and the grid looks sick, like sick color, themes, everything was on point. And she was talking about how we literally spent so much time making it look so good that we didn't realize how badly like the engagement was. And it's like, what was wrong? And she was, and then she came to the conclusion that we realized that we need to segue out of these aesthetic things, right? And actually stop having purposeful content. Purposeful content that is actually relates to the brand, relates to the product, relates to why you should buy this, relates to the story, relates to the founder, relates to all, like there's so many different things to make videos on, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear that, oh, I don't
have ideas in it. Yeah.
There's so many things to make videos on, right? It doesn't have to just be the product. There's so many different things. And I feel like that's where we're segueing into it. And within those things, you can be creative. You can have aesthetics in those things. But at primary, it's all about the purpose. It's all about the value. Remember, like, even in content, it's a value exchange. What I'm giving to you, you're giving something back. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
How would you say though, like, speaking on that though, because I get what you mean, but you also have to build an identity of your brand. So how would you say you could do that?
That's actually, that's actually a great word still, but I'd actually pose it back to you. Like, how do you think you could?
No, go on. Go on.
You're so great into the crowd. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. That's a real. Build an identity for your brand.
Yeah.
Cool. During this year, an identity, right? It's like, cool. There's this like analogy. I think you use something really similar. I think your identity is like a stick, man. Right?
Character.
It's like a character.
Innit? Yeah.
It's like a character,
yeah,
right? You see like your favorite character in a TV show, your favorite character in like a film or whatever it may be, right? Or even like, you remember like back in school, yeah, we used to like draw stick man and we put arrows to it, right? And we'll have like different characteristics.
Who you are in it. You build who you are in it. Yeah.
Who you are. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like your identity should be. I feel like this could just be like a short exercise anyone could do for their brand.
Yeah.
You draw a stick man, right? And you build the identity, the characteristics, right? That you want your brand to have. So when people think of it, those are the words that they will think about your brand. And I think that's what identity is. Just like we all have identity, which is rooted in our like characters, our personalities, in our strengths, our weaknesses, our flaws. Those are the different things that make up our identity. So I think it's really more or less about having purpose than anything else. Like your identity is like, what's your purpose? And that's where your value lies. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. I keep talking about value every single episode, but that's literally like, it's the gateway to everything else. But yeah, how do you think a brand, or like, how would you, if somebody asks you that question, how would you help them to build an identity?
No, because the thing is, you're right with the character reference as well. That's actually what I was going to say. But it's also about building a culture, innit? You kind of have to think what kind of culture what does your brand represent as a culture, innit? Like, think about all the interests and things that it's going to be combined with and then put that out, write that down on the paper.
Yeah.
I remember when there was an exercise I used to do when I first wanted to create a clothing brand, innit? Yeah. And I won't lie, it definitely helped to where it is now with marketing. I wrote down all the things that I'm interested in, right? From top to bottom, even if it had anything to do with sports, whatever. Like, and then I narrowed it down to what I want the brand to represent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then from that point, I was like, okay, cool. That's the brand identity. So from now on, everything I do is going to reference these things. Even if it's this anime or this show or this, do you know what I'm saying? Or this old game I used to play, why? And I write down why it represents that as well on the side. And that especially was an exercise that I feel like every brand could do. Every now and then, like, put that down. And from there, you have your brand identity. So now when you're doing your photo shoots, which I say shouldn't pay too much attention to, ad campaigns, which you want to reference by, use that. Because that's what's going to be the representation of your brand. So I think that's one of the things that I would say building the identity of. Just
segues back into, I can't lie, a broken record. I think we're going to mention this every single episode.
Yeah.
Without an ending, you can't have a beginning.
Yeah.
So by doing that exercise, what you're doing is you're actually creating your ending so that you can have a beginning to something. So if you're thinking that, how do I start this ad campaign? That exercise that you just explained is exactly how you can actually start to have a beginning of how to build it from the ground up. Yeah,
that's true. You know, because even if you think about, so as you know, when we're creating our campaigns, as you can see, I'm the type, because we work on the basis of, if I create or he creates, it's like we do it based on research.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and I know this from experience, I know a lot of brand owners, they go crazy. They think crazy, like, okay, cool, what if I done this crazy idea here? But sometimes you think crazy to now narrow it down to something that's actually possible.
Oh,
okay.
What I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
And I remember, like, that's how it used to start anyway with even Creative Direction. We started off like, I would think mad.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, this ain't possible.
And then we'll kind of
like, let's bring it down to this. Or let's use that reference that you've seen to now add in, or, you know, hone it down a little bit to what it could relate to this campaign here.
Yeah.
So I think that's what is important. Like, I feel like your brand is sometimes a representation of your experiences from childhood or adulthood. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to think, okay, cool, these are the things that I've been through that I want to add in, I want to showcase in my campaigns. So, like, I think that's where you start.
That's where you start.
Yeah, like 100%.
I agree. Cool. So, do you know, there's something that you feel very heavily and passionate about, right? And it's something that you always talk about, and I completely agree. Is that a lot of people feel like a marketing strategy is a posting schedule. It's like, why do you have that opinion on that?
No, because obviously when you're posting, you think that marketing for your brand relies on you just posting random content every day. So if I post a picture of this brand every day, like this specific picture of my product, people are going to buy it. But I feel like what you need to understand in a marketing strategy is, let's just say a game of chess. Yeah. Before you make a move, you think about 10 steps ahead of the move. And that's when you make your move. That's why you have like 8-minute time like that.
Yeah.
And I think you have to relate that to your brand. When it comes to the campaign, think 10 steps ahead of what this campaign is going to do, purpose of it, and the objective of it, the main thing. And think about what you're going to get at the end of this. Then you start to build it from there, because then you've written down why the reason for this campaign, especially, you now understand, okay, cool, I'm going to make content based on this, right? Instead of just, okay, cool, I'm going to come up with this posting schedule and just post. It has to create a story.
Yeah.
Like a marketing campaign is a storyline, innit? It's literally a journey that you take a customer through from the beginning of awareness. We'll go to the funnel bit, but from the beginning of awareness to conversion, now the customer's convinced to buy this product, innit? So it don't just start with you just posting continuously.
Yeah.
And one posting schedule that one agency might give you from ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Now, like, really hone in and think about, okay, cool, what is the objective of this campaign this month? And next month, same thing, look back at the campaign you had before and think about what you need to improve on, and then start the same process again.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd say. But what do you think?
Yeah, I can't lie. I think a posting schedule and a market strategy is, the main difference between a strategy and winging it.
Yeah.
I mean, with a posting schedule, you can wing it because you could just post the same picture, you post the same video or a similar video the same day and expect results. Whereas with a strategy, it is methodological. Yeah.
Yeah.
Methodological.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with a strategy, it's methodological, right? So you're actually thinking about the intricacies of the content. And when I say that, I mean like you're not overthinking it. You just ask yourself very simple questions. What's the purpose? What value? Is this changing people? Is this a value exchange? Like, it's simple questions. And I think that's kind of the difference between you just posting loads of times for no reason. Because you'll be like, I posted every single day and I still got no sales.
Yeah.
Versus the person that posted maybe once every other day or a few times a week, right? And got more sales than you. You have to think about it. Everything has purpose. Everything has value. There should be a reason why you're doing this. Not just because, well, I need to post every single day, so I just want to do this. that's where marketing strategy always comes into play. I feel like we had the stat that 67% of businesses don't have a market strategy at all, and they're just winging it. Yeah. And I feel like that's crazy.
That's crazy.
But it's crazy, but I believe it. Do you know what I'm saying? I believe it because I see it all the time. It's like, I can tell that you don't have a strategy and that you're just winging it based on, oh, do you know, I need to put content on, so let me just put something out. And then with that, number one, it's a schedule that you actually can't keep up with, because what's going to happen is when it doesn't work, right, you're going to come into the point where it's like, damn, I have to change it. And once it not work, you're going to change it. And that's actually going to interfere with your schedule. Your schedule should always come after the strategy, because now you strategized it. Now you want to know how many times you want to post this, or when do you want to post certain content. And I think that's where you're going to come into that crossroads. It's like, oh, it's not working, let me change it. It's not working, let me change it. It's not working, no, let me change it. That's not what strategy is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you actually have to fully build it out and then execute it. And then put it into play.
And the thing is with that as well, especially, is that you run out of ideas.
Yeah.
And now you're burnt out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, you only get to that point because you don't have a plan. You have to plan your marketing. You have to plan your content. I know it seems like this is something that's long, but do you want it bad enough as well?
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself that. Like, I feel like brand owners don't think they have to do everything. They have to actually be able to do everything in their brand, like, and actually plan out how things are going to be. I feel like that's the main process. Like, research is the main thing, being a brand owner.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't do your research, you're not going to know what's going to work. And
exactly.
You're just going to end up going into certain barriers that you don't want, that are just pointless.
Yeah.
That you don't want to get yourself into.
100.
So I definitely think that. But even speaking on that as well, you've said it before, but like, I've been looking at it recently, especially now in marketing. Brands, personal brands, like, I've been seeing them recently, their content is TV. It's literally like TV. And when you think about it, most people don't watch TV nowadays, innit?
Yeah.
Because all they do is go on TikTok to watch TV, right? And they watch their content and they're entertained, they're engaged, they feel, do you know what I'm saying? There's all types of feelings that they get.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like brands need to take their content more. If brands took their content like they were a TV show, right, that tune in every, week or every 2 weeks, or they come out as a series based, they can now create content that is feasible and understanding that you can actually do in it. Like, and I think it's important that brands understand that, like, watching TV back in the day, you tune into that show and you'd be in tune with it. Like, you'd have that certain type of feeling every day when you watch it. So making content like that, like, you have to understand that customers gonna wait for what's coming up next. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like, bro, brands need to create a TV series, innit?
Yeah,
like, more. Because I've seen a lot of brands do it. Like, there's a brand owner from US, I forgot what it's called. They're a coffee shop, in fact, in the US, yeah.
Okay.
And what they do is they have, it's just the same shot they shoot every time. A customer comes into the shop and it's a different type of customer every day, innit? And the content is based on the different customer that comes, but it's the same people on the till. And it's hard because now you're getting that, oh, that person's like me.
Yeah.
Goes to the shop and it's like a drama series and you can tune in every time. And now someone would want to probably go to that shop because they want to experience that themselves. The same feeling. And that's what I was saying, like, bro, creating that type of world is definitely interactive with the customer. And the customer's going to be more inclined to, like, even mess with your product more.
Yeah.
And come to activations and come to things like that. So, yeah, I think it's definitely important. Like that.
100%.
That's what UK is lacking. Like, the UK needs to jump in that way.
Jump in that way. Or even jump in their way. It doesn't have to be that way. In something.
In something
that's really going to, like, actually push people out, because like, marketing is already a space where, like, it's not saturated, but it's like everybody's somewhat doing the same thing, right? So it's like there needs to be ways for you to still fit in and still stand out.
Do you know what
I'm saying? You have to be able to be doing both. It's either you're fully standing out or you're fitting and you're standing out. You got to do one of them. You know what I'm saying? But just fitting in will only lead you just to fit in. Do you know what I'm saying? With the hundreds of other brands that are already out there. But I think a big question that I actually want to ask you is that, how do you think a brand knows that they have a marketing problem?
The interactions and the data of your brand, the data from the customer, innit? So you need to understand if people are even messing with what's going on over here, and it's important because when you have like channels like Instagram, TikTok, you have to understand, even starting out, you might not get no comments or anything like that, but you have to understand who's saving the content, who's actually liking it, and who's like commenting back. Yeah. And sometimes you have to reach out and see if people actually like this. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I know when you're starting out, people don't interact at all, but it's about actually like reaching out and saying, okay, cool, what do you think about this content?
Yeah.
The person that liked it, and send it out to them and be like, and if they don't really mess with it, get their honest opinion in it. I think it's important. But knowing that you're actually producing bad content, you have a marketing problem, is, well, you get to the point where you don't know what you're doing, 100%. Like, if you get to the point and you don't understand, like, you don't know what to do next, I think that's where you know you have a marketing problem. But what do you think? But what do you think?
Cool. Do you know what I think it is that I think there's a few ways of you can actually tell this. Number one, data, you're not busy enough, right? And there's this thing where it's like, there's this argument between what's the difference between marketing and branding. And it's like, you know, you have a market problem when like people don't know who you are, right? And that's usually how like your biggest indicator of like you have a marketing problem. I think the other one would be that the people that you intended out in the beginning to impact are not being impacted. So if you're intended to impact men 25 to 35 that have issues with their hairline, right? And you're not doing that, you have a marketing problem.
Oh, cool.
So when what you're doing isn't reaching the people that it needs to reach for the reason that you first intended it to reach, right? I think that's probably your main like picture of why you have a market problem. And I think from that, you're able to indicate, okay, cool, this is where the gap is. Do you know what I'm saying? So I would say that that's probably like your biggest indicator.
So you'd say who you are and the type of audience that you're reaching.
Yeah.
That you thought you were going to be reaching.
Yeah, because I think if people don't know who you are, you have a marketing problem. And then if the people that you intended out to reach don't know who you are, then that's your further indication.
That's even the first point, because awareness is literally the first point of marketing.
If people are not aware of who you are, right, they can't even consider your product. They can't even convert to even buy anything.
Definitely.
So it's like, if you're not even getting to the awareness part, right, back to the drawing board, because there's a serious problem.
Yeah, that's a serious
problem.
Yeah.
If you can't tackle the first step of the funnel, right, you won't get to the end of the funnel.
Yeah. What would you say is the marketing funnel for people to, just for the people out there, just let them know?
Market funnel. Do you know this? Yeah, I feel like I hear people talk about this, but I think either people overcomplicate it or they don't explain it in like a simple format. I think it's all about just simply breaking it down.
Yeah.
So I think funnel, 3 stages: awareness, consideration, conversion. That's the customer buying process, right? That's the customer buying process that the customer goes through, but also that's the process that your content has to go through, right? So you would have awareness content, you would have consideration content, then you would also have conversion content. So going through those 3 stages, you're taking the customer through those 3 stages. And that's how you get them from point A to point C, right? And that's really the simplest way to put it. Awareness, simply put, you're making people aware of who you are. Awareness is actually the biggest on the funnel, right? The awareness is the biggest part on the funnel. Then you have consideration, right? Consideration is in the middle of the funnel, right? And this is where people are considering, like, this is content that's making people consider your product for a reason. What's the purpose? This is you showing the purpose, the value, whether that's in yourself, whether that's in the product, whether that's in the mission, whether that's in the vision, right? Then you have conversion content. So this is actual content that's showcasing what this product does. Like, what does it give me? What does it actually, is it inspiring? Is it educating? Is it entertaining? What is it like? Find one of those feelings and just amplify it in that type of content. But yeah, I think that's the simplest way to like break down what the marketing funnel is. And then if you're hitting all three of those points, you're bound to be getting the attraction and more customers actually considering to buy your product. 110%.
I think it's important to know that you have to start from the top.
Yeah.
Because some people start from the conversion point, educating people on something that people don't even want to buy or even know if they want to buy.
Exactly, yeah.
And like when a customer's considering on buying something, obviously, as you said, it's the purpose and the value of your brand. So you need to make them understand that these points, make someone understand something about your brand when they don't care about it.
Mm-hmm.
The awareness point is giving that content of like, oh, this is something that's cool. That's the first point.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes, seeing what's making sense right now in terms of their interests online, on TikTok or on Instagram, that's what's going to make people actually look into your content, look into your brand as well. So it's definitely important to start from awareness, then consideration, then conversion.
Yeah.
But I feel like focus on awareness if you're a brand starting up.
Yeah, 100%.
Focus on making people aware of the brand
as much as you
can. That's the first point. I feel like kill that content to a point where it's like it's working. Then if you're not seeing that if you're thinking people are not really interacting or understanding your product, or they're buying the product that you don't think is making sense, they're not even buying the product. Now you have to start thinking of, okay, cool, let me start bringing them in and understanding what the brand is about.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's why they say founder-driven content is important, because that's what makes a customer trust the brand. Now they're already trusting the brand, they're aware of it. Now you have to think, okay, cool. At that point, I'm just going to let them educate them more on what this product is about, so that they're more in tune to actually buy it. You think about when you go to a shop, and the customer, like let's just say you're going to buy a perfume from a perfume shop, and you have that woman at the till or anything, and she's like already telling you about perfume from the beginning you get there. What type of perfume do you like? She's asking you questions. And now she's like she's asking you the perfume you like, and now you're telling her, I like this one.
Yeah.
And now she's giving you options, similar ones. She's asking you what type of scent you're into, and she's educating you on it. That's from that point, you're already in tune to buy from her, because you're like, she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Right? And also, she's even suggested more perfumes just like the one I like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now you're like, okay, cool, I'm definitely going to buy it, because I have to. She's like, she's told me this is the one, so I'm going to buy it. And that's what I'm saying. It's a process in that one interaction. But that's the same thing that happens in marketing content as well.
That's what. Do you know that was actually? Do you know that's probably the perfect analogy in person? Of how to sell to someone, because she took you through that process of making you aware of the product, right? By asking you questions, by really understanding what you're looking for, right? And then to make you consider it, right? She then gave you options. And then even more to even consider it, she then relayed everything back to herself.
Yes, remember that as well.
Right?
Yeah.
What she done in the shop, right, is that she gave examples of the different perfumes and how these relate to her. Had nothing to do with you, which I think was a perfect flip, because it then didn't make it seem like she was trying to sell directly to you. She was using her own lived experience to influence you, which is exactly what it should be. And that made you start to consider it, right? And then from that point, she then highlighted something that you liked. She started relating the perfume to fashion, how she uses it based on what she dresses.
And you know what's crazy is that when we were there, she saw that we were just nice, so she kind of picked
up on that. You know what I'm saying? And then once you got to that point, you were ready to buy. You were ready to buy from that point.
Trust me.
And I think that's exactly the same process that in person, online, wherever it may be, you follow the same process. It's the same thing across the board.
Because people don't want to feel like you're selling to them.
Yeah.
They want to feel like you're a part of them, innit? You're just like them. So when like a customer's coming to your brand, they're not thinking, okay, they're already seeing this as a sell. So now you have to think, okay, cool, let me relate the content to them, That's the same way that women just done that, innit?
Same thing, the same features.
So I think it's important, yes.
Okay, cool. So marketing trends, overrated, underrated, right? Personal brand.
Underrated still. Underrated.
Founder-driven content.
Yes, underrated. Definitely. That's definitely underrated.
Photo shoots.
Overrated. 100%.
Posting schedule.
That's definitely overrated. That's definitely overrated.
Pop-ups.
I can't like pop-ups are overrated a little bit. Unless you're talking activations that like are different. But them regular pop-ups, nah, it's kind of
live streaming.
Overrated. Nah, that's underrated. See, live streaming, yeah. Oh, let me break that down. Live streaming is important.
Oh, I think we'll break that after this. I just said.
But yeah, go on.
Using nostalgia.
I'm in the middle with that, you know. It's getting overrated now.
It's getting overrated. Last one, activation.
Yeah, that's underrated.
Okay,
that's underrated. But I need to speak on live streaming. Yeah. I feel like live streaming is the one thing that brands are not like tapping into right now. Bro, if you see the way people love Twitch and they love like people think that people still have short attention spans. But the problem is people see clips and want to see the full thing.
Yeah.
And if they're live with the brand owner, seeing what that brand owner is talking about, live streaming is the perfect way for people to actually get real with their brand, like with the brand that they love. Do you know what I'm saying? You can actually interact with the owner, see what's making sense, if this product is making sense. And there's so many ideas you can come up with them. Right now, there's a lot of streamers that are doing marathons, things like that. Brands can start doing like marathons.
Yeah.
Even towards the release date. And that's even an idea that I've always thought of. Like, imagine like waiting for that brand to release that product and you're with them through every step of the way of them releasing it as a marathon. Like, that's crazy. I feel like the opportunities are endless. That's why sometimes you have to tap into everything that's being put on right now.
Yeah.
As a brand, like everything that's getting released, like all these little things that like live streaming, there's TikTok obviously now, there's other things in it, there's clips, you need to tap into these avenues because if you're the first one to do it and you do it correctly as well, planned, obviously, don't just run into it. Like, you can really kill the game. Now you're known as every lane you pick and you do, you kill it. So I feel like live streaming, it's important because like it's literally what you all want to do in it. Like, it's picture it like you're watching that live match of football in it or something. Yeah, picture it like that. And like, you get to see your player live, do you know what I'm saying, do the best he can in it. And like, you get to actually buy into what, I can't even describe this. But no, literally like, live streaming is it. What do you think on it?
There's something I actually want to talk about. Yeah. Right? Not on the live stream part, because I think you already touched on the points. But there's something is that brands expecting to get purchases when they give the consumers anxiety. And I think it's something that's not actually spoken about too often, right? And the analogy comes from this. You know, when you go into a shop, right? You know the pick and mix thing, right? Yeah. There's this guy, he spoke about it, and he said that he took his kids into a pick and mix store, right? He went to the pick and mix section, right? And the kids took hours and they ended up leaving, right? Crying, right? They didn't leave her or anything.
Yeah.
Now he came the next day and he brought them to, you know, the candies that are like by the till, right? And they were able to get something. And the two pictures are, the pick and mix is like a large section. There's so many things to pick from. And then the one by the till, there's only a very small selection. And I think just to go into that is that if you're not giving customers a clear vision, a clear understanding of your brand, understanding of your product, understanding of your purpose, don't expect purchases. Because those are the three things that people are buying into. And the analogy of the pick and mix and having too many options, again, can just be the clarity in how you're pushing your vision forward. Like if you're constantly changing something, right, and not sticking to something, that can also have a bad domino effect on your brand. If you're always changing the vision, or if you're changing your vision every 3 months, or if you're changing this every 3 months, right, the consumers don't have that point to actually now sit in it and actually start relating to the brand, start relating to the vision, start relating to the purpose that you're trying to push forward. So that when it comes to consumers, just like the same way of like you having a certain amount of clicks to buy something, it's the same thing. Is that within your marketing, you don't want to push anxiety, you don't want to push the whole thing of there's too many things I'm looking at. Like, I don't really understand what's their vision? Like, what are they trying to push forward? It's like, what's really their value? Like, you'd never want that to be the issue, because that's where you're now promoting anxiety within the consumer. And with that, there's no sales there. But you have no sales.
No, that's important, because I'd be all like, building a level of your customer not understanding what your brand is about.
Yeah.
Is they're not going to be in tune to even buy from your product, because it's so important. I'm not going to lie. I feel like, even when you said, giving your consumer anxiety, like, they're not going to be able to trust your brand.
Exactly, yeah.
They're not going to be able to trust what you do and what you promote. So now your product, they're going to think that this guy's bringing out so much content about this product, but what does it really do? Do you get what I'm saying? You're still going to have that question. Rather, if you had something like planned and had a strategy behind it, now it's just simple what they're seeing. Sometimes the small things, and just the simpleness of your marketing, it doesn't have to look amazing or whatever. It doesn't have to have a good, cool aesthetic. Just the simpleness of just explaining what it's about, showing the purpose of it, and now marketing in a way where I'll relate.
Yeah.
That's all you need, isn't it? So I definitely think it's important.
I get that.
For the consumer. But what was I going to say? I have something to say as well. On a little bit. What do you think? But how do you feel about brands, when they say they want to build a lifestyle?
They want to build a lifestyle?
Yeah, like a lifestyle. In brands. Like, brands will say, like brand owners will literally say, oh, but I feel like I have to create like a lifestyle of my brand.
I think, I'll probably sound like a broken record with the answer, but I think a lifestyle, again, is rooted in your identity. So it's like, the type of lifestyle that you want to promote is now based in the identity that you want to push. So it's like, when people say, like, I want to like promote a luxury lifestyle, that's going to be in your identity.
So literally,
it's like, I think you want to be very careful when like you want to promote a lifestyle, because you don't want it to be just something that you just say, right? Because it's very easy to be, I want to promote a lifestyle. But when you ask what lifestyle, they'll be like, do you know what I'm saying? That's when it starts to get choppy.
Definitely.
If at that point, when somebody asks you that question, it gets choppy, that means you're not trying to promote a lifestyle. You're just trying to copy what everyone else is saying. So then you want to make that distinction between those two things, is that your lifestyle is the identity, right? And if you don't have an identity, you don't have a lifestyle to follow.
You know how that's important? Because brands have to stop copying other brands' lifestyles or identities. Like, you have your own brand identity. Like, build that. Like, build the culture around it. That's why we just come up with that analogy of that exercise to do.
Yeah.
Because it's so important. Like, you don't want to come up with a brand and build an identity based on Cortez.
Yeah.
And now you're just doing the same things they're doing. Like, they have a reason why they build those experiences.
Yeah.
That's why they're able to do certain activations.
Yeah.
And other brands ain't able to do that, because they feel like they have to do the regular route and do whatever. That's why a brand owner us having that thing of, I feel like I got to build a lifestyle, is just a cop out to say, like, maybe if I build a luxury, if I showed people that this product and this brand is rich, people are going to buy it.
People are going to buy it.
That's not why people buy things. People don't buy things to look rich. Like, do you get what I'm saying? It's not just that. There's a deeper reason why people, customers buy products. Sometimes it might have, and it will be something to do with something you might not even think. They might want to feel like they're a certain type of person.
Yeah.
They might have a stigma that they want to roll around. They might have like I'll buy a jeans, right? Let's just say I'll buy a jeans, but because someone wore it and because it looked fly and because it builds a certain type of it builds a certain type of statement of a person. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I might buy jeans.
Yeah.
Someone else might buy it for another reason.
Yeah.
It's not because it's rich or looks rich.
Always different.
Yeah, there's always different reasons. So sometimes you have to be able to deeper understand why a customer wants to buy a product from you.
Yeah.
It isn't for being rich. Like, I think at the beginning, that was the stage. That was what a lot of brands were doing.
Yeah.
MDV came in doing that, and they built that type of lifestyle in their photos and their content. But like, nowadays, that's not the wave, innit?
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to do that, come in a different type of avenue. Picante do that, especially.
Picante.
They build a lifestyle. It's rich, but it's old money. It's a certain type of lifestyle. And then they depict it with the activities that are done within the brand. Like 100%. They do golf with their brand on, like their brand, the influencers, they've collabed with brands like Porsche. Was it Porsche? No. It weren't Porsche. It was
Bentley.
Do you get what I'm saying? Now they're building a certain type of rich lifestyle.
Yeah.
So be specific about what you're building.
What type of because they're different.
That's why I did say when you're building a brand, write on the things that that you want this brand to replicate. Yeah. And that you're probably interested in. And then narrow it down, because then you'll know. Like,
yeah. I agree, 100%. Consumers are paying for your content without you knowing it. And what I mean by that is that as brand owners, right, and this is just general across the board, right, you can have the feeling that, I'm posting free content, I'm posting this, I'm not getting anything back. What you don't know is that consumer is actually paying for your content with their attention. And what that attention is doing is now relaying back to the funnel, right? And what that attention has a cost, right? Because the more attention that they pay to your brand, right, the deeper they go down into the funnel, the deeper they're now going to considering the product, and then now into the conversion stage. So it's like, don't think that every single one of those posts are for free, right? Is that every single person, every view that you get, every interaction, every engagement is a cost, right? And they're paying you with their attention. And the more attention that they pay to you, right, the more reward you get on the other side. So I think I just want to just talk about just that mindset shift of just not to always think about you're making all this content for free.
Yeah, that's true, because a lot of brands probably think that they're making content for free. And they're spending a lot of money on it, whilst you don't know the customer is paying attention to your brand.
Exactly.
And that's even more of a currency now. Because more like content is a currency. Do you know what I'm saying? Marketing content is a currency.
That's actually they're paying with your attention.
Yeah.
And that's the currency.
It's the new currency.
That's the currency exchange.
Yeah. So that's why I think it's important to know that. Like, so when you're investing money into your campaigns, understand that people are paying to watch what you're doing, innit? And what you're about to promote. And now they're even adding more value when adding that they love it that much that they're willing to buy it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? And now you have to understand, like, for a customer to buy your product, do you know how crazy that is? Do you know how important that is?
Yeah.
Like, they care about something that you probably don't even think about every day. Do you get what I'm saying? But they care about something so bad that at one point you were probably chilling and thinking, and they bought it. And they really wanted it at that point.
Really wanted it.
That's what you have to think sometimes. Like, it's not just about getting the most money and you know what I'm saying, making the most money. Like, sometimes about like the impact that customer felt at that point to buy that product. You know what I'm saying? It's important though. That's why I think, like activations, recently I've just been loving activations, innit? We're seeing a lot of them. And like, I love the way, like, there's not a lot of them that are doing what, like, there's not a lot of brands that are taking risks with them. But I think the brands that are, like, I always say Cortez, but Clint, like, I was thinking about it, the last 5-6 years he's done them since 2019. Every activation, if you think about it, has leveled up. Like, from the beginning from when he started off with the pop-ups of the t-shirts, to where it is now, and he's doing school bus.
Those 5 buses that have Cortez on them.
Those 5 buses that has Cortez on them, and he's selling the boxes. He's every time he does a pop-up, he's reinventing it. He's not just going there with a bus or a car and then just doing throwing t-shirts in the air. He's like changing the game. He's even getting people more interactive. He's getting them to play games like the maze. That was a very good thing.
The maze was a great.
It was a good thing. Like, things like that, making people run for your product and actually like look for your product. Yeah,
exactly.
It builds that type of community that you think no one could ever be, and it builds a memory as well. Because it's memorable when you realize that the experiences they had. He said it as well, but the experiences they had, they're always gonna remember. Like,
they're always gonna remember.
I remember when I bought that product, that shoe.
Yeah.
And then they can say that, like, I remember
it. And I think that's the whole thing with activations. Activations is more about, the main part about activations is about sowing a seed of experience that can grow into a memory. And I feel like that's the perfect is the perfect analogy to actually put it into, because what you see brands like Cortez doing is that every single drop is a new experience, it's a new memory, it's a new experience you can attach to a memory now. And it's like, just like you said with that current one, even the other day, and I was saying, I was like, even if you're going to do a pop-up, right, do it in a way that makes someone say, wow.
Yeah.
The fact that they did it in a Nike shoebox, a life-size one, hard. You know what I'm saying? You're building an experience. I even saw,
there
was a video, it was like, there was this mum, she's like, she queued up, for her son, innit?
Yeah.
Right? And it's
crazy.
Like, the experience is being attached to more than just our age, even younger than us. There's parents that are getting involved as well.
Yeah.
That's how you know that you have impact. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how you really know that you're building something that's so much bigger.
And you know what it is? It's true what you said with the. Oh yeah, it's true what you said with the shoebox. Yeah, but I think what you have to understand is some brand owners, they don't have that type of budget.
Yeah.
But this is the best time to start getting creative with what you don't have. The simple thing of what Clint done with the Bolo exchange, that doesn't require any money. That's what's crazy. It doesn't. It's just something of understanding that my brand is more important than your. Do you know what I'm saying? Your North Face, your Montclair.
Yeah.
So let me show you how important it is that you have to exchange your North Face, something that's like big, like, do you know what I'm saying? A brand that's very, very big at that time. Cortez wasn't even big at that time, like that crazy big. And you told them to exchange it for your jacket because you show how value it is, the value of it. That's what I'm saying. Like, things like that, get creative in it. Make people understand that it's actually important. Even if you have 10 fans, I've always said it, 10 customers, 100 customers that like your brand. Yeah, get them in a small space and get them to actually like understand this brand is real. Do you know what I'm saying? And make them kind of like interact with them. And it doesn't always have to be a pop-up. I'm not saying that. It could be an event. It could be anything in it. But really research that word, activations. Start going on ChatGPT and working around it and seeing what brands have done back in the day with activations, because they've been doing this. A lot of brands have been doing it. But that's what I'd say about it. It's important. So if you have a brand and you're looking to actually market it, you don't know where to start. You're thinking, I'm going to just wing it, come up with some ideas. And you want to actually start marketing your brand in the perfect way. Well, we got something for you, Lord. Do you want to tell them?
So what we got coming is our first in-person marketing workshop. So it's going to be fully interactive, expert insights, and we're really going to be showing brand owners of all sizes to really how to market your brand from scratch. So from strategy to execution, like how you guys can really bring it to life.
All them campaigns you've been seeing on our page and you don't think, like, how do you come up with it? We're going to be showing you the full breakdown of how to start from the scratch. And I feel like this is the place to be. Nothing like this has ever happened. I'll be honest with you. I've never seen it before. And I feel like most workshops you go to, it's just networking or what that panelist is saying. But this is where you're actually going to be able to, we're going to test you lot. We're going to put you lot on your, on your A game. Come with your A game. Come with your book. Come with your laptop, your iPad, your phone, put your notes down. We're also going to have an interactive space where you're going to be writing it anyway.
100%, because I can't laptop, that notepad is leaving packed.
Yeah, it's leaving packed and it's leaving full. Like, and you're also going to leave with something anyway. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But, marketing is overrated. Marketing is overrated. I can't really say too much about that anyway.
Yeah,
but this is the first workshop we're doing ever. I want you lot to really roll and take it in.
But link's going to be in all our bios. Wherever you're watching this, it's going to be in our bios. So sign up to the waiting list.
Sign up, because
we're going to be dropping
limited spaces.
Yeah, it's
I'm telling you.
Limited as well.
And if you miss this one, I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna hate yourself. I'm gonna be honest.
This one is gonna be good.
It's gonna be good for real.
It's gonna be good for sure.
Yeah, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Marketing is overrated too. Wow. But yeah.
That's another episode of Marketing Talks.
Yeah.
Another great one.
Feels good. I think what we need though is you lot, if you got any questions, any type of advice you want, start commenting below what you want us to talk about, because it'll help as well, and it'll help you lot, especially. Even if you want to, jump in the pod.
If there's anyone you feel like we should have on a pod, or you feel like you want to come on the pod as well, I can't lie. We're definitely open. We're definitely down. Also, we're going to be going live on TikTok.
Yeah, we're going to be going live on TikTok every week on Wednesday. So anything you want to ask straight away, jump in, drop in.
Yeah,
we're going to be putting it up. It's the first episode. Sign up for that workshop.
Yeah,
because I'm telling you, this is going to be the one.
It's going to be the one.
Yeah, got something coming up for that. And you know, it's marketing, so it's got to be marketed.
It's got to be marketed. So like, yeah, just be watching out.
Just be watching.
And yeah,
yeah. Bow.